लाइफ बोट की कैपेसिटी 1 की 65 थी और उस 65 की कैपेसिटी में बैठाए गए 27 लोग, तो उसने और मजीद आपका बेड़ा खराब कर दिया। आगे चलिए। The lessons from Titanic are still relevant today. These are good lessons which cross between industries. Can we learn from the past? The risk engineering team would say yes. अब मैंने आपसे बात की थी आइडेंटिफिकेशन की। ये 2 मिनट का एक टेस्ट है, आपको एक तस्वीर दिखा रहा हूँ मैं। अब आपसे मेरा सवाल ये है कि इसमें आपको रिस्क एक्सपोजर्स आइडेंटिफाई करने कि इसमें रिस्क एक्सपोजर्स क्या हैं। एक तो बहुत प्रीडोमिनेंट है, उसके अलावा बिल्कुल, मतलब आप सबको मैं अभी दिखाऊंगा मैं क्या है। आइडिया सिंपल सा था कि आपको आइडेंटिफिकेशन के प्रोसेस से आगाही दी जाए ताकि आप उस रिस्क को, जिसकी आप बार बार बात सुन रहे हैं, रिस्क 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 इंश्योरेंस, उसको एक मेमोरी के साथ ले आ सकें और आपको पता होगा जी क्या रिलेशन है इनका आपस में। अब नेक्स्ट स्लाइड दिखा दीजिए। ये मैंने सर्कल कर दिए वो कॉमन हैजर्ड्स, बड़े हैजर्ड को छोड़ के कि जो यहाँ पे हैजर्ड्स हैं जिनको आइडेंटिफाई करना जरूरी था। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। अब इस वाली स्लाइड, इस टाइटैनिक का जो मैंने केस स्टडी बनाई थी, उसका जो मैंने हेडिंग की थी वो ये थी, इज इट पॉसिबल टू लर्न फ्रॉम योर लॉसेस। तो हम सब जिस जगह बैठे हुए हैं, हमारे साथ किसी न किसी वक्त हमारे शोबे में, जिस भी शोबे में हम होते हैं, कोई ना कोई ऐसा इवेंट हो रहा होता है जिसको अगर हम चाहें तो स्टडी करके उससे वो नतीजा निकाल सकते हैं कि जो आइंदा आने वाले वक्त में हमें उस इवेंट से दोबारा बचा सकें। और यही चीज़ इंश्योरेंस की फिलॉसफी भी है कि इंश्योरेंस में जो रिस्क मैनेजर्स होते हैं उनका काम ये होता है कि वो तमाम दुनिया की बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस को जमा करें और उन बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस को जमा करके अपने कस्टमर के पास ले आके उसको बताएं कि फला इंडस्ट्री की इस बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस को अगर आपने अडॉप्ट कर लिया तो उसकी वजह से आपके साथ ये हादसा नहीं होंगे जो किसी और के साथ हो चुके हैं। तो ये एक छोटा सा मेरा नॉन सीरियस प्रेजेंटेशन था जो मुझे आपको देना था। मेरे ख्याल से मेरा टाइम इतना नहीं है, इसलिए मैं बाकी चीज़ें ख़त्म कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन आई होप कि मैंने एक छोटा सा मैसेज आपको कन्वे किया होगा जिससे कि आपको इंश्योरेंस, रिस्क मैनेजमेंट और इस तरह के तमाम कॉमन चीज़ों का एक आइडिया क्रिएट हुआ होगा। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Khurram, for a very lively and entertaining presentation. And I hope our audience there have learned a lot about the risk and mitigating about that. Our next speaker, Mr. Javed Ahmed, is Managing Director and Chief Executive of New Jubilee Insurance Company. He is a fellow of the Society of Actuaries USA and has extensive experience in the field of life and health insurance business. His insurance career started in 1986 with the State Life Insurance Corporation as actuarial trainee. Having worked there for 7 years in actuarial department and group pensions department, he joined EFU Life Insurance Limited in 1993. Since 1997, he is associated with New Jubilee Life Insurance Company. His initial responsibilities included life operations and marketing. His professional and human skills elevated him to the position of MD and CEO on 1st July 2002. Under his dynamic leadership, New Jubilee Life Insurance Company has emerged as the fastest growing life insurance provider and many pioneering endeavors in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Javed Ahmed.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. I must say कि खुर्रम की प्रेजेंटेशन के बाद लोगों की अटेंशन यहाँ रखना बड़ा मुश्किल काम है, लेकिन मेरी प्रेजेंटेशन के बारे में सबसे अच्छी बात यह है जो कि खुर्रम से प्रेजेंटेशन में नहीं थी कि ये आखिरी प्रेजेंटेशन है, तो खाना मिलने वाला है, तैयार हो जाइए। अच्छा, the topic that I was suggested initially was that insurance as a tool to minimize businesses, so I confined my presentation towards the business side. Of course, there are personal financial planning and personal risk भी हैं जो कि insurance address करती है, but I will basically focus on insurance products which are meant to minimize or support the industries or businesses in containing or managing their risk. और हमने बड़ी अच्छी तरह से आइडेंटिफाई बताया कि हम रिस्क को आइडेंटिफाई कैसे किया जाए, उसको मैनेज करने के कौन से तरीके हैं. So I will basically go into the details of types of insurances which are available. I have taken the liberty to jump into non-life area as well. सबसे पहले तो we have to look at the types of risk that any business has to face. First one is the strategic risk, which basically covers different aspects like shift in consumer behaviors, uh, different pressures and changing market behaviors, and different emergence of new brands and new ideas and everything. These are strategic risks which every company has to face. The other risk that every company, in any business faces is the financial risk, where companies goes through different financial cycles, from initial cycles where companies are struggling for finances and to manage their business within limited financial resources, and then they move on to grow and then do business, and then accordingly manage their financials in line with what their expectations or what their resources are. The next risk that any the companies generally face are the compliance risk, and as you can see, there is a regulatory intervention mentioned as a risk. Although I can't say anything because regulator is also sitting here, but I think it was identified by Ali very well as to what are the regulatory concerns or regulatory risks that any business can face at any point in time, and it depends on the regulator, it depends on the type of industry that you are in, depends on the regulatory environment that's prevailing in the country. The last one is the operational risk of the company, which primarily consists of the human capital of the company, which every company has to manage. And everybody now agrees that basically the resources, the employees of the company are the greatest resource of any industry, it doesn't matter. Previously, everybody believed that it's probably only, it applies only to the financial services, that you have to have good human resources within the company, but I think every industry now realizes the need to have very good employees who are skillful. So that's one operational area that every company has to look at. Then the company has to, of course, manage its liabilities. Please stay on this. Transportation I mentioned because the businesses nowadays are international. Products are assembled in China, transported to USA, sold there. Shirts being made in Sri Lanka are sold in Europe. I think it's very difficult to find any souvenir in a European country which is made in that country. It's all made in China. So that's one risk that the companies have to insure or have to cover up. Property damage, property, plant, equipment, whatever you have, there is an exposure for whatever reasons. And then the last one is the business interruption due to any reasons that can take place. So what insurance can do is to cover the operational side risk of any company. Insurance companies, of course, cannot cover a strategic risk of a company. They cannot cover the compliance or financial risk, but they have almost a product to cover every operational risk of any business that exists. Clicking बहुत सारी चाहिए होगी presentation. Next. As I mentioned that insurance companies are primarily there to manage or provide coverage against operational risk, and other risks are either mitigated by companies or are managed by the companies. They have to live with those risks and they have to develop strategies for managing those risks. Now, within insurance, there are two clear segments. One is life insurance and one is non-life, which we call general insurance business. Life insurance business basically covers the risks which are pertaining to human resources within the company. And the non-life companies basically cover the risk, other risks like which are transportation risk and interruption, property